minds of Americans, and the last few days, and again, we still have Americans stuck in Afghanistan right now, so we can't lose sight of that fact. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. Van Hipp, Mark Halpin, we appreciate it. We're going to listen back in to the hearing. Brian Schatz, the senator from Hawaii, now questioning Anthony Blinken.
Their work.
Present crisis. Call or go on.
Sologenic is an ecosystem that tokenizes stocks, ETFs, and commodities on demand. And with me is CEO and founder Bob Ross. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Jane.
Yes. So provide a quick introduction about Sologenic. What are you doing? What are you aiming to do with the financial markets?
Absolutely. Sologenic allows users and global investors to tokenize and access over 40,000 stocks and ETFs from top 30 global stock exchanges like NASDAQ, NYSE, London Exchange, and etc. Truly, we believe that Wall Street is a little bit outdated, and blockchain technology can play a very important role in disruption of the industry. Tokenization can bring a huge value, into the traditional financial market. Imagine that if global institutional investors and retail investors, they have access to all of these exchanges, global exchanges, on one single platform, and they can actually trade, multiple assets against each other at the same time at a very low cost that can help them to manage their portfolio, in a better way, easier, and that potentially can bring more value and more cash flow into the market.
So that's really the problem that you're solving. Would this be more democratic? I mean, would it bring more people into the market, being able to be the fact that it's tokenized? And what does that mean for an investor? Exactly.
So it means that investors, they can actually tokenize assets. It means that once an asset is tokenized on our central platform, users, investors, they can actually take the asset outside of the platform. They can have the self-custody of the assets. They can even trade these assets 24/7. Versus the market average, the limitation of the market average we have, on the decentralized exchange. Not only that, we do offer more unique features.
Yes.
For example, fractional trading. That means that you can trade as little as $1. If you can even invest $1 into Amazon stocks right now, it's over $3,000. Or cross trading. That's a very unique feature. That means that let's say you have Tesla stock, right? That it's a tokenized asset. You take that tokenized asset outside of our central platform, you put it on the DEX, and there are other people, other investors that they own, let's say Amazon stocks, right? You can trade, you can convert your Tesla directly to Amazon stocks without having to go through conversion to fiat then fiat to Amazon.
Very interesting.
So it's a shortcut, and we cut a lot of cost here.
Yeah, how interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that before. I've seen the fractional trading, but not the cross, so that's interesting. So how are you in compliance with security regulations? I mean, and you're headquartered in Canada, right?
No, Estonia.
Oh, Estonia. Okay,
Europe,
so Spain's a blockchain. So, so how do you navigate all the securities, regulations globally?
Yes. In terms of regulations, there are two different regulations involved here. We're talking about securities regulations and AML regulations. For securities regulations, you probably know we are obtaining our securities brokerage firm license, which is called MiFID inside EU. That license gives us the opportunity to offer trading of securities to the European residents, and we can pass passport the service, outside of Europe to certain countries. So that's for the security side of the matter. We are active inside Europe at this moment, and this is how we are fully in compliance with securities regulations. In terms of AML, obviously, all users, they have to go through the KYC and AML procedure, which is very standard in the industry. The way that now the question is, how do we authorize investors to trade these securities outside of our platform on the decentralized exchange? That's the question here. So fortunately, because we are using XRP ledger technology, if users, they want to trade these tokenized stocks outside of our platform on the decentralized exchange, each user, they have to whitelist their wallet address. The way it works, with the XRP ledger technology, there is a feature, it's called trust line. It means that you need to open a trust line from your private wallet with Sologenic ecosystem in order to be able to trade that specific stock.
Okay.
So that means that you have to go through KYC and AML.
I see.
So at any point of time, we do understand who owns what assets. And that's exactly what is required by authorities.
Okay.
And this is how we are in compliance with.
Interesting, yeah.
So we make it we give you more freedom, but at the same time, we make sure that we meet the expectation of big brothers.
Yeah, okay. So what's your roadmap then for expansion? Where do you plan to go?
Roadmap, as you know, the development of the whole ecosystem is being completed at this moment. And we are in a very last step to obtain our securities brokerage firm license inside EU. We are, planning, we are forecasting that we're going to go live. We're going to launch our commercial service inside Europe for European residents within the next 3-4 months.
Okay.
Which is very exciting. That's this is where we put all our focus at this moment.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Yeah.
Yes. And at the same time, for U.S. market, we are in touch. We have been in touch with a few big players. In U.S. market in New York, in Silicon Valley. So we are launching our Series A fundraising, and it's going to be completed within the next 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
And the plan is we are relocating our headquarters from Europe to US.
Okay.
And once that happens, we're going to be offering full service inside U.S. for the American institutions and retail clients.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. This is what we're currently working on.
So how is this for somebody who is not so tech savvy? Maybe they don't totally get, I got to have a wallet and connect it to this, and there's a browser extension, and then, how easy is it to use?
When we developed Sologenic, the idea behind development of Sologenic was to make it as user-friendly as possible. That means that users, average traders, average investors, they can use the platform with the minimal learning curve. For that reason, we have developed our web app, which makes it super, super easy for everyone to use that. As long as you know how to trade, you can use that. And we have developed our mobile app for iOS and Android.
Okay. Oh, thank you. And thank you as well.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Well, another week and another hack to talk about here today. And of course, we have our go-to person on all of this global security and data, Alon Gahi, the CEO of GlobeX Data, the parent company of Secure. Welcome, Alon. Good to see you again. And feels like we talk about this every time. So the latest is WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook. So what happened there, and why is that something that people need to be aware of?
So WhatsApp, which is, of course, the most famous messaging app in the world, which is free because they basically take your data and sell it to advertiser. WhatsApp got fined, I think, 225 million euro by the Irish government for selling people's data to Facebook. Well, they do it every day. You know, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, it's part of the same ecosystem. And this time they got fined because they broke some European regulation. You know, but 250 million US is a drop in the bucket for Facebook when they make tens of billions every year from your data and my data, right? And they sell it to advertisers or other people. And of course, they don't secure it. So, you know, a malicious hacker can come in either on your phone within 8 minutes if they have your phone number, or they can go and hack an advertiser and steal your data, your credit card info, and then sell it in the dark web.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it's this unwinnable thing, but you have a solution, and explain how Secure works and how these kind of things can be prevented with your platform.
Well, our solution called Secure or Secure Messenger essentially doesn't use your phone number to register. So already you're taking away that whole easy access from hackers to your phone. You can use Secure Messenger without divulging that you're using it. I mean, nobody knows you. You know, if somebody has your phone number, they can hack into your WhatsApp, Signal, or other device. But, you know, if we don't use phone numbers, nobody can get in. We also have a way to send secure messengers to people who don't have secure. And I want to talk about the financial industry. Everybody in the financial industry uses WhatsApp, whether they admit or they deny it. Everybody does. If not, it's Signal, but it's the same thing. So in WhatsApp, if you're a broker and you talk to your client, hey, I got you your 1,000 Swiss shares or whatever, you know, that's going to be information that's out in the open. And then the customer who has that money to buy the 1,000 shares essentially now is also a potential target. And that information is all out there. You got contracts being sent, everything through WhatsApp. I see it, whether it's real estate, financial, conversation about financial transaction. So the financial sector and also the lawyers and the accountants and so forth are going to be a prime target for us to reach, because with Secure, we don't use open source coding. We don't use big tech platforms. We host everything in Switzerland, which has the strictest data privacy laws in the world. And we have that technology, that proprietary tech that we use that is, I'm going to say virtual, because you never say you're never unhackable. But, you know, we've never been hacked since we started in 2008 in Switzerland. So that's a pretty good record. And also, you don't divulge your phone number. So somebody can talk to another secure person, or they can message a client through Secure, and they get an email notification to click, and it opens a tunneling to chat together, and then you self-destruct the thing and you're gone. So that's a much better way than using WhatsApp.
Yeah. Well, WhatsApp, I know, is used a lot country to country. So if I'm traveling somewhere, you know we can, because it's global, we can always communicate on WhatsApp, but that is also a danger.
So that's a danger. And actually, you bring a good point. We are going to bring secure voice at the end of the year, because today you can do messaging, email, and you can record a voice message. But it's not the same as calling. A lot of these long distance things that you're talking about, people you want to make a call to Dubai or India, a lot of people are going to use, you know, something like WhatsApp. Whereas with us, once we have the voice system, you'll be able to make the same phone calls as well. And you can even call someone that doesn't have the app, which is amazing.
Yeah. And now you're launching this amazing marketing campaign. I'm so happy when I see your ads, and I've seen them in the subway. I've seen them on TV. So talk about that and how you're launching with Newsmax.
Well, thank you, Jane. I'm glad you see. We want to be everywhere. And as we mentioned earlier, New York is a nucleus of our campaign in the U.S. because once you're known in New York, you're known all over the U.S. You know, New York is a center of finance, business, and many other things. And it's got a good density of population. So as of today, we're starting our 80 commercials a month on Newsmax. These are 30-second commercials that show what we do. You got the secure, you got our ticker, and it's bringing actually subscribers, and I would imagine investors as well, because people are discovering that we are here, we're entering the US market, and we're growing, and we're getting a ton of subscribers on a daily basis. We also have our secure segment, which is a privacy and security segment on Newsmax, on New to the Street, every Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m. And that is more of a privacy security educational segment where we talk about, you know, maybe the hack of the week and also about how secure can help you alleviate a lot of these cybersecurity issues. So we have two things. We got the mass advertising for anybody who's watching Newsmax, 80 times a month. That's quite a lot. It's going to be around the Wall Street Wrap, I think Greg Kelly, morning show. So these are key prime time exposure. And we're hoping to grow. You know, as Newsmax grows, we grow. We appreciate their support. And we're here to also show our support to Newsmax in a very big way.
Well, exciting. It sounds like you're doing all the right things to build your business along. So good to talk to you again.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks everyone for watching us.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
Blackbird Biotech has various biotech products, including Mite Extreme, which is a plant-based pesticide for spider mites. So with me, CEO Fabian Denault to explain more about this. And Fabian, I remember last time you were talking about uplisting the stock to the OTC market. Explain where that stands.
Well, the OTC market contacted us last week to let us know that even though it's been a couple of months that we've been in review process, we're still in the review process. Expect resolution to that any day now.
Okay. And then you were also talking about starting sales numbers for Mite Extreme. Has that process started yet?
It has. We had some supply chain issues. Those have been resolved. We've been able to start blending. We've had our first sales here this month, and we continue to build our marketing database, and we're getting a lot of feedback because we have the only food grade plant-based biopesticide on the market. So it's very exciting. And sales have started here in Montana. I had some in Nevada as well. So we're starting to see that where we're registered, the sales are picking up.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a unique concept, is the plant-based pesticide. So now, what are you looking for funding to help with that marketing and the sales efforts with Mite Extreme?
Yeah, we just filed a regular offering last week. I also learned last week that we'll be able to start taking subscriptions in that offering at the end of this week. We're expecting to raise between $1 and $2 million, all of that, or most of that, which will be used to build our Mite Extreme sales. We've been talking to a couple possible national sales managers. We want to bring on somebody who's very strong in that market to lead us there. So we're very excited about that, and it all seems to be coming together well.
Nice. So now what about state qualification for the pesticide? Like I know the EPA, there's a lot of different levels of regulation. How are you navigating all of that? Where does that stand?
So once you get EPA approval, then you have to register each of the states now with their state EPAs. With that, some of them actually have listings for specific crops such as cannabis. So right now we're registered in 7 states: Colorado, Washington, Oregon. We're also being permitted for use in the cannabis. Nevada, Montana, Oklahoma, we're on their list. We continue to put applications in. We have another 12 applications that are pending in 12 states, and we'll be submitting for the rest of the nation here and Washington, D.C. as well over the next week and a half or so.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the update on the testing that was done on the Botanical Research in Motion in Vancouver?
I'm happy you asked about that. The testing results are off the charts. Things we didn't expect, we knew but hadn't verified. That testing has gone very well. We're waiting for that whole report to be put together by the end of this month, and it's going to be some groundbreaking information that's going to be out there.
Wow, so that could really be a pivotal report in terms of where you go from here. Whatever.
Yes, I think it will. You know, we did a lot of testing up there in Canada right now on hemp. We're doing testing in other places on vegetables. But with the ability for Mite Extreme not only to kill mites, but works on other insects and molds and mildews, we've seen things that I was slightly aware of when I developed it, but am blown away with the actual lab results.
Interesting. And then there was also some testing in Israel too. What is that, and what's the status of that?
We're testing with a large ag chemical company in agriculture up there, mainly on eggplants and cucumber crops. That's ongoing right now. No indication as of early results at this point. Final results are expected when they harvest, and that'll be towards the end of October. But we're expecting to see the same incredible results there.
Okay. You could have a very crucial few months ahead of you here. Very exciting. So
yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much, Fabian, for coming by with an update.
Jane, thank you, and you have a wonderful day.
You too. Time we talked to American Premium Water, they had announced this exciting sponsorship of AVP volleyball, and now they are there. So it's so great to have you guys in Chicago. CEO Ryan Fischoff, the COO David Howell. First of all, set the stage for me. I know you're somewhere because I hear the PA system. Explain where you are and what's going on.
Sure. So we're at the AVP Chicago Open in Oak Beach on the pier in Chicago, and we're having a great time. We have a sponsorship tent. Cali Bear is the official CBD sponsor of the AVP, and we're really excited. And we're as we're about to roll out our product. I know we just announced this week that our CBD product is now available for pre-order on CaliBearLife.com. So this is another step in our overall retail launch strategy. There'll be a full launch later this month, early October. So we're very, very excited.
So talk to me a little bit about the actual product and why is it a good fit with AVP?
Sure. So I actually have some product right here. This is one of our tinctures, our CBD tinctures. And you mentioned why it's a good fit with the AVP. We also have CBD lip balm right here. And obviously the beach, being out on the beach, this is a great product for not just volleyball players, but anyone enjoying a day on the beach or a day outside, active lifestyle. And that's really what we think is a great aspect of the CBD, the Cali Bear brand, is that it's an active lifestyle that invokes the beach, active sports, not just volleyball. Volleyball encompasses a lot of that, but there's other sports too. So we're very excited, and that's why AVP is a great partner for us. They help with get the message out about the benefits of CBD. The players can talk about how CBD is part of their regimens for training as well as recovery while they play. So we're very, very excited.
And if I may interject, our pain cream is very, very, like, it's a #1 here. The reason why we don't have it is we're waiting for our second shipment because it's already been given out.
It's already been sold out. So we're very, very excited.
So tell me about the pain cream. Is that for like an athlete would like that for sore muscles or something?
Yes, we represent about eight of the athletes, the top athletes here at the AVP, and that's one of the things that they use is the pain cream daily. We had other players come by the tent. We had their parents come by the tent. Everybody that came by the tent tried it and came back about 15 minutes later high-fiving us.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing.
And the pain cream isn't just for athletes. It's definitely designed for athletes, but it works very well with people who are not athletes. I know it works well with with especially older people who have arthritis or other issues with pain and discomfort. It's very effective. Yeah. So we've been really excited about the response and then the response to the cream, and that's just one of the products that we'll be featuring. We have waters coming out later this fall, beverage CBD relax shots. So we're very excited about what as part of this retail rollout and how it's going to help sales and help the business.
Okay, so if somebody can't make it to Chicago, how can they get these products? Learn more about them.
So go to our website. Go to www.calibearlife.com and you'll be able to pre-order the products right now, and you'll learn a bit more about the products. And just so the audience is aware, American Premium Water did a joint venture with Cali Bear. Okay. So it's through American Premium Water that we're doing the distribution. So American Premium Water is doing all the operations, all the distribution, logistics of everything. Okay. And then those are announcements that we've made publicly in the past. We have a logistics and distribution partner. We have more coming. So we're very, very excited.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Jane.
Bye now.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our HearIQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Pink Panda is a utility token that says it helps users access DeFi with ease. So with me is the CEO, Adam Carlton, to explain exactly what Pink Panda is. Adam, welcome. And I guess just tell me, what is Pink Panda? What makes it unique?
Well, thank you, Jane. Great to meet you here today. What is Pink Panda? What makes it unique? Well, so we're about we just passed 100 days old from a token that we released. It's a Binance Smart Chain token, so it is a cryptocurrency. And we are also a registered C Corp, Delaware C Corp. So we're a startup company that is building out a wallet and a decentralized exchange for a mobile app. And we really believe that we're something unique in the space where we're extremely mobile focused. We think we bring a lot of value to the table from a user experience. You mentioned that with ease, that's really where we're heavily focused on, is creating a very user-oriented experience with a focus on mass market adoption.
Yeah. Well, I took a look at your website. So it is very kind of easy to understand. It looks like it's, got a good kind of friendly user interface and so forth. So, so tell me a little bit about the name Pink Panda. Where did that come from?
We had built out the concept of what we wanted to do from a functional perspective and who we wanted to be. And I had a list of, probably 20 or 30 different names. There are all these names out there that are just kind of crazy names. And I was like, we don't want to follow these Dog or Doge or Shiba or all these trends. Let's come up with something unique. And I don't even remember who said it, but someone said, well, we're interested in being charitable. We're interested in cancer charities, and everyone likes pandas. What about Pink Panda? And it just immediately stuck. And then we had the logo done the next day, and it was perfect. And, so 80 or 90 names later, it just kind of popped out of our conversation.
Well, it's definitely memorable. So, and you brought up charity. So that is kind of part of your mission, part of your business plan, right? So explain how that fits in.
Sure. So, I have a history, right, with cancer. My best friend passed from cancer when I was young. I lost my mother to cancer, and we wanted to give something back. And I think that's something that's kind of great that I've seen in other tokens in the crypto space, but some of them have been exclusively charitably focused. I thought it was great that we reserve a portion, right, of the value for future donations as well as existing donations. So we've donated a couple times to cancer charities, and so really it's the more successful that we are, the more that we grow, we can contribute more to those cancer charities. So I think that's great.
And you've only been around for 90 days, is that right? I mean,
Actually just passed 100 days, but yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. And you've already got more than 5,000 mobile downloads, or maybe that number has gone up too. So how did you break through? Because it is a very kind of crowded space right now. A lot of people getting into it. It's new technology. I mean, how did you break through and get attention with so many downloads?
I think there's a lot of reasons that we've been successful at this point. I think one, we've started just extremely community focused, and people know that. They understand, like, when you're community focused, they see what you're trying to build and they want to be a part of that. Also just transparency and trustworthiness. I remember when we first started, we had 8 people in our channel, right? And I took the time to talk to each one of them. And as it grew and grew and grew, I always made myself available to answer questions, to, tell someone what I think about it. Hey, here's my perspective on that. And we've tried to keep that engagement up as we've gone, but also like let the community kind of self-regulate and self-build too. And then I'd like to think that, we have an amazing team that I have a background in consulting and tech, so very agile approach to our software development, and just thankfully been hitting on all the right cylinders.
Thank you so much, Adam, for joining us and telling us about Pink Panda.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
PetProducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. StackOS is a decentralized cloud, which allows people to contribute infrastructure. And with me is the CEO and Chief Architect, Vishnu Korte, to explain what StackOS is all about. So Vishnu, let's start with just kind of an overall explanation of the company, and then let's dig a little deeper into some specifics.
Sure. So as you said, StackOS is a decentralized cloud which allows people around the world to contribute the compute infrastructure. And then it allows developers around the world to have a very seamless deployment experience. And they can literally go click a button and have the application running. So I think that is the unique quality which StackOS actually provides.
And then you had a mainnet launch on August 16th. So explain to me what that is and how that went.
Absolutely. So, on 16th of August, we had our mainnet launch. That means people around the world can start deploying applications with just as simple as clicking a button. And, we had an amazing success there. Everything was on time and at pace. In fact, one of the best launches ever. All of our engineers were super excited to say that, and ever in their career, they've seen a launch so peaceful and so smooth. So it went really well. And ever since the launch on 16th, it's been about, I guess, 3 weeks now. It's been great because you have seen that developers around the world have already started to come up with some feature requests, and I'm really excited to say that in last few weeks we have already made like 7 to 8 releases or into production. So it is amazing to see the feedback from the community and the way we have been progressing. They can just quickly run applications smoothly. And from organizations' point of view, they save tons of money. So I think that's how you differentiate between how individuals benefit versus and how the organizations benefit.
Now, with this smooth launch, and congratulations on that, do you have plans for hiring?
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. We have opened up, a lot of the positions in multiple arenas. We have started to open for at customer support because people have been coming in and asking for, a lot of help with regards to some of the, some of the how do you onboard more applications, right? And how to make it more easier for them. So we have started to build up, customer support there. We also started to onboard a lot of our marketing, front to get people who would be deployed, who would be ensuring we have, more people coming in and really experiencing how to deploy on StackOS and how easy it is. So and also in engineering side, we are also looking at some of the core engineers with the back end and front end, and also smart contract developers. So a lot of positions are open. I really encourage everyone to just if there's someone who's watching your show right now, I would encourage them to come to our website or our Telegram community and ask where we can actually find a fit. So yeah.
And what's the website?
It's StackOS.io. Awesome. And you can go to deploy applications at app.stackos.io. So
okay, all right. Well, congratulations on what you've done and what you've achieved since the last time that I spoke to your company, and I look forward to updates.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, bye. Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. Fandom Sports Media is changing the way that people interact in real time with sports data, and is also creating a marketplace where people can create and trade and sell NFTs. So very exciting to hear about all these new developments that you're doing as CEO David Vinorakov. Tell us, first of all, let's start with Phantom compliance. So tell us about the retention of that. What does that mean for the company?
Yeah, so hello, Jay. Nice to see you again, as always. And we just retained Phantom Compliance. They're helping us with all of our internal risk management policies and player and account management. So as you said, we're changing the way that people are able to interact with data from their favorite sports or esports streams. So as an extension of that, while you're making those predictions, we also have wagering licenses that allow actual people to wager money on what is going on in those events. So Phantom Compliance is helping us set up those policies and procedures that will allow us to license our technology to third parties to embed in the platforms that they operate with their communities. Furthermore, we're also building out an NFT marketplace, which will be unique in the world, which will allow people to create NFTs on the fly. So as they're watching their favorite content, they can hit a record button, create an NFT, buy, sell, trade them, do what they will. And, that's going to require us following a lot of rules and regulations in different marketplaces around the world. So Phantom Compliance is coming in. We're putting all of that, those controls in place so that we can, start launching in select target markets around the world. Okay, I see. Very interesting. So what's in store for Fandom Media this fall? Well, number one, Phantom Compliance is helping us get all of our housekeeping in order to go after specific markets and jurisdictions around the world. We're going to be adding team members that are going to help us facilitate entrance into those new markets. While we're going to be compliant in each and every market around the world, we're going to be signing up pilot projects as well with specific leagues, both in esports and sports, to demonstrate to them and to their fan bases how they can get more engaged with their content, whether it's streamed or broadcast, how to create NFTs, how to trade them, and just how to have a more robust user experience as opposed to just watching something like we do traditionally on TV. I don't think a year ago I had heard of NFTs, and then maybe sometime around the winter when Beeple sold the painting was when and then how it's exploded. It's unbelievable. And it's just a whole new market and ecosystem, as you mentioned. Just fascinating. Yeah, no, we're going to have, hopefully for our next update, we're going to have some more news on specific initiatives that we're undertaking with some content creators, again, with some teams. But, when you see, the artwork that people created that's selling for $70 million, certainly the market isn't going anywhere. And, just as we saw with cryptocurrencies, going back 5-6 years, everyone said, oh, it's just a flash in the pan. And now we see a sector that's a multi-trillion-dollar sector.
Yeah.
So I think the adoption will grow. Youngsters coming up are very familiar with that ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be really interesting to see as the market evolves, the new directions that the market will go into. So like I said, we're very excited to be a part of that marketplace, and we're very excited to keep everyone posted on what we're doing in it.
Well, I look forward to hearing more about what you're doing. So it's always interesting. Thank you so much, David, for coming.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate your time as well.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. And Al Simon, Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. We're back with SportemonGo CEO Rick Jackson to tell us about some updates. And Rick, I understand you had kind of an exciting thing. SportemonGo was a major sponsor for the Jake Paul Woodley fight. Can you tell me about that? I mean, that was huge pay-per-view, right? With the biggest so far this year. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. They were saying it'd probably be one of the biggest, but I heard the figures that it was the biggest.
Okay.
And so to be on the canvas and sponsoring the Ring Girls for such a major event that, went to millions and millions of homes was quite fantastic.
And then you've also been on an impressive list with some big stars as well. Talk about that and all these exciting things that you have going on.
Yeah, so we've hit the ground running, and I'm lucky I've got 30 years worth of business experience and credentials and networks. And so through that, we've been able to get to lots of meetings. And Corey's been in the US based, and he's met with, Manny Pacquiao and Wilder and Top Ring Boxing. And then, of course, that led to the opportunity to sponsor Showtime pay-per-view. We're very happy that that's exposed our brand to the global market now.
Yeah, no, that's huge. What do you dislike about doing these deals, signing players, working on teams for the app? I mean, how does the whole process work, and what do you like and not like about it?
Well, I think Corey's got the fun part because he goes to all the red carpet events in the front row at the ringside and, gets the photo with the stars. And I do all the contracts and sit at home in COVID lockdown. So he's definitely got the best part of it. But look, there is some challenges with travel during these times. And actually, Corey would have been here today, except he's probably been caught up in that. We've been doing this for a long time, so we understand that negotiation can take time, and it's got to be a win for both parties. And sometimes it just doesn't work out for that one time. But if you have good relations, then there's always down the road, and that's always worked pretty well for us.
Yeah, no, that's actually excellent advice for anybody in business, because timing may not be right at that particular time, but if you have a good experience, it may make sense later down. So I think that's absolutely good advice. So now when people typically would go to a sporting event, there'd be a collectible. Do you plan on getting into anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So depending on the sport, we're looking at things like game day minting. So when you go to an event, you'll get a special NFT for that day, and you can only get it for that day. And so it may be available at the physical stadium, or it may be from your lounge room, watching Showtime or ESPN or one of those major sports networks. But it's only available for a short time, and we call that a limited mint period. And the moments, the magic moments and memories that are created on that day, captured in NFT, only available for a short time, straight into our app or on our website.
Okay, we'll look for that. Thanks, Rick. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. Akash Network is a marketplace for unused computer capacity. Welcome, Greg. And you're a seasoned developer, entrepreneur. You got 25 plus years of experience. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came up with the idea for Akash Network.
Thanks, Jen. To simply put, I build things for people that build things. Been a programmer for a little over 25 years, in which my last 15 years have been building tools for developers. My passion really began with a company I founded called Angel Hack that I created to take hackathons to masses, right? And I helped several companies there launch, a notable one being Firebase, which got acquired by Google and eventually became Google Cloud's most used database. And Angel Hack was really where I gained an incredible insight into understanding developers, more particularly on common problems, which happen to be deployment. Deployment means taking what you developed on your workstation and making it available to your users in a scalable and hopefully a simple way. And that problem was a common problem back then, even now, and founded a company, Overclock Labs, to solve this problem. So we created software to make applications or internet applications fast by going to the edge. And essentially, customers would deploy the software in their data centers. Data centers are these machines which house other smaller computers that serve the cloud. So our software made it extremely simple to use data centers. And while we were deploying, we discovered that most capacity in these data centers, somewhere north of 85% of capacity, remains unused for various reasons. And that's when the idea for a marketplace came about. And Akash Network was born with that intent to take that unused capacity, make it available in an open and a permissionless setting where the price is driven by the forces of demand supply in a free market setting.
Very interesting. And it just makes everything more efficient. I mean, you're using what's already out there. And so, cloud computing power, I don't even know if the public realizes how much we use cloud. There's, Netflix and DoorDash, just about all these apps that we use. Of course, Amazon Web Services, Google, Microsoft Azure, all those very well known. I mean, how do you fit into all those traditional cloud services?
Great question. So cloud today is about $370 billion market. Essentially, if you think of cloud as the central fabric to our modern society, everything you and I do, all our data, all our compute is, stored on the cloud in some form, right? This cloud is essentially someone else's computer residing in machines like data centers. So Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and even Alibaba control up to 80% of this market, of this $370 billion market. And they do that by offering services that are simple for companies to use on a on-demand basis. So if you want a data center, you can go to these companies and rent them on demand. Whereas Akash takes a little different approach. Instead of owning our data centers, we go and tap into unused capacity. Like I said, 85% or so of capacity in 8.4 million data centers globally is unused. So we take this capacity and we offer deliver a cloud that's designed around a modern developer, really putting developers in first. What that means is Akash, developers set the price instead of companies setting their price like in your traditional cloud. So that creates a more equitable and more open system. And to give you an analogy, Akash is like Airbnb for compute, whereas Amazon is like Hilton for compute. Now, you can go to Hilton and get consistent service, and you can get consistent, breakfast or even bed sheets. But where you go to Amazon, Airbnb, you can get all kinds of variety that you don't normally get on a Hilton. So Akash is like Airbnb for computational services or cloud services.
So interesting.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming and telling us about Akash.
All right, I'm Anna Berry with New to the Street, brought to you by Secure. This is your Secure segment, and this is your weekly hack. Joining us is Alain Guy with GlobeX Data, the leader in Swiss-hosted private and secure communications and data management. Okay, Alain, now we're talking about photos, sharing photos. A lot of people love to do it, but it's all fun and games until someone gets hacked, right?
That's right, Anna. So thanks for everyone for watching. So, a lot of people love to share photos and images. We spend our life on social media with some people. I've quit that 7 years ago. And what happens is when you share a photo, usually people use WhatsApp. It's the most ubiquitous messenger in the world. Essentially, two things happen. First of all, when you share an image with someone else, that image that you receive on your phone is also recorded on the device. So this latest craze now with the hackers is essentially a lot of people use photo filtering to look good or to have special effects on a sunset or what have you. And that creates a bug, and a hacker can get in through those photo filtering system and essentially steal not just a photo, but obviously everything that's on your phone. There were reports of crashes on WhatsApp, but the big problem is that everybody knows people use WhatsApp. So if you have a phone number, and there was some breaches of privacy on Facebook lately that we'll discuss. If you have a phone number, anybody can go and try to hack it because they're going to assume that you have WhatsApp. And the problem is that when you send images back and forth in WhatsApp and most other applications, those photos, those media images are being stored on the phone as well. Like if I get an image, a joke from someone or a photo of their, wedding or something, it's going to be on my phone even after I delete from the so-called WhatsApp, delete for me, delete for everyone, and that's a problem. So that's a critical issue.
And let's reiterate this too, because I remember getting some new filters and everyone's doing it. And then you think, oh, well, I want to join in too. But that is extremely dangerous when you start altering your face, right? And you're using these apps. Again, why is that a no-no?
Well, first of all, using these filters now triggers a hack. That's number one. Number two, I always say now, reduce carbon footprint, also reduce social media footprint. Imagine if, malicious people would have your photo. They take your photo, they can basically Photoshop or do whatever they want, create identities papers. They can commit a crime in your name with your photo on it. They can do a lot of stuff, right? And now with the biometrics and the face recognition software, once they have your photo, they can create a fake ID with your name and everything on it. Because, on Facebook, we have our life. On the phone, you have your addresses, so they can basically get your photo, your name, your date of birth, you name it, and create fake IDs and commit crime in your name. So it goes very deep. This fun thing of sending a photo and sharing it, I'm not saying don't share photos, but use it with an application that's secure.
Talk to us about why Secure Messenger is different when it comes to photo sharing.
Sure. So talking about secure and security. So what Secure does is when you share what we call a media, which typically is a photo or a PDF or something, what we do is we don't store it on the phone. And that has to do with how we don't require your phone number. So when you use another application and you send a photo to someone, that recipient will have automatically that photo stored on their phone forever until they delete it. And that creates the hacking problems. Whereas when you use secure, we have this buffer and we never pull the photo down to the phone. So if I send you a photo and you see it, and then let's say you delete it because we have a self-destruct timer that wipes out completely even in our server, that photo will not be on your phone. It wouldn't have pulled it automatically without your knowledge. It's just a very common thing, and we don't realize it. So I would recommend using Secure Messenger if you absolutely want to send media back and forth. At the very least, nobody knows you have it because we don't ask for phone numbers to sign up, and also we don't pull the media on your device.
Good to know. Talk a little bit about updating apps. Why is it really important to do so?
So updating apps and even operating systems is important because there's always new threat, cyber threat, all sorts of things that come. And a lot of these companies, they try to basically, find a solution and fix it. And you need to have the latest software available in whatever system that you use, because they would have gone through those bug fixings and whatnot. So I always update, I use an Android, so I always update whenever the Samsung tells me to update. I use applications and always update to the latest version because it adds extra layers of security. If you have an old version of an application, the danger of being hacked and being compromised is a lot greater than if you updated it. It's the same with computers, right? We talk a lot about mobile phone now, but we should talk about computers. If you have an old version of Microsoft or Outlook that hasn't been updated and there's been so many threats on it and hacks, and Microsoft fixed it, you want to have the latest version. And by the way, if you're a business and you're watching this, every hack on average cost businesses $3.7 million per intrusion, according to IBM. So the costs are enormous for something that's really easy to do.
Well, so our takeaways: buyer beware, but it's really poster beware. If you're going to post it, beware, because it's all fun and games until you get hacked. So reconsider posting photos, reconsider the filters, and always update your apps, right?
Definitely. Poster beware. Whatever you post on WhatsApp, consider that it's public domain. So be very careful about what you post. By the way, WhatsApp just got fined $250 million US by the Irish government for breach of data privacy in the European Union. So that's quite a lot. So even without hacking, just the privacy alone, they breach privacy all the time. And $250 million is really nothing for Facebook. So be aware, be careful, think twice, and reduce your social media footprint if you can. And of course, update your software at all times.
I'm taking this advice with me as well, and I appreciate this technology. I appreciate this information, and it's always great speaking with you, Elaine, and I look forward to more. Thank you for joining us on New to the Street.
Thank you, Anna. See you all next week.
Big news from the app world. The Newsmax TV app has been downloaded more than 5 million times since Election Day. It's one of the most popular apps on both iPhones and Android devices, plus it's free. So go to your app store now and you'll get easy access to Newsmax.com for top news. Plus you can watch Newsmax TV anytime, anywhere. And remember to sign up for app notifications so you never miss a breaking news alert from Newsmax.
Download the free app now. Takes just seconds. Newsmax TV. Watch us anytime, anywhere.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know,